Hello, this is Paul Wilkinson here, pianist, composer and improviser. I just thought I'd do a video. This is a follow-up video from my Musical Heroes Part 1 which I did, which I discussed how much I love the work of the pianist and improviser Keith Jarrett. This next video is more not about one person but about many composers that have influenced me, and you would say these are British composers that I've been greatly influenced by. I've written a symphony and a number of concertos, and working on a second symphony, and quite a large amount of orchestral work and chamber work. And I'm a really big fan of some of the great British composers. Obviously some of them are very famous, like Purcell and Elgar, Ralph Vaughan Williams, so I very much admire those composers, and there's also many others that I admire as well. So I thought I'd have a quick look at my library. This is where I tend to go for my lessons. Is I study these scores quite intently. I look at them and think, why does that work so well? And then I have a quick look at the score and work out, why does those strings sound so beautiful? Okay, that's how Vaughan Williams does it. Oh, that's how Elgar does it. So today's Musical Heroes is, I suppose, the pastoral composers, the British composers that I really admire. So one of my very favourites would have to be Gerald Finzi. Finzi's a composer I admire very much. This is the cello concerto, which is an absolutely fabulous work. So I love Finzi. One of my favourite pieces of all time, without question, is a piece by Finzi called Eclogue. And alongside that would have to be a piece called De Natalis, the Day of Birth, which is a very profound piece, a very stunning piece, set for voice and strings. It's absolutely beautiful. If you haven't heard it, please go investigate it. That's De Natalis by Gerald Finzi. I love all of his work. I love his choral works. I particularly love Lo the Full Final Sacrifice, which I think is an absolutely stunning masterpiece. So I could talk about Finzi for ages, but I won't go on too much about him, but I'm a very big fan. So Gerald Finzi, if you haven't heard of Finzi, go investigate some of his music. It's absolutely stunning. The clarinet concerto and the bagatelles for clarinet are very highly regarded, very famous works within the classical canon. So Finzi is one of my favourites. Another one of my favourite symphonies of all time within the British tradition would be Mr. Walton. This is William Walton's Symphony No. 1, which I think is an absolute masterpiece. People often ask me what's the greatest British symphony ever written. That could be it. That is a fabulous piece. It's a stunning piece. It's exciting. It's frighteningly difficult, that first movement. It's absolutely stunning. All Walton's work is absolutely beautiful. Walton was a fascinating composer, an Oldham boy who couldn't pass these old exams at the university, I think it was Oxford that he was at, but managed to get by in life as a composer. He's written many famous pieces like Portsmouth Point, but the concertos and the symphony, the second symphony as well, are stunning pieces. The violin concerto, the viola concerto, I love the cello concerto. So that's William Walton, another one of my personal favourites. I mean, it goes without saying, Elgar is a genius, and I love his work very much, particularly the first symphony, which I have somewhere like a massive score of the first symphony. If you can see that, there it is. That's the first symphony, which is a magical piece, a masterpiece of form and structure. His cello concerto I've studied extensively, having written a cello concerto myself. That is a stunning example of how to write for the orchestra so that the cello doesn't get lost. It's a truly lyrical piece, and it's a masterpiece to investigate. Another composer I love very much, there's so many, but I'm a big fan of Delius. There is that food that people spread on their bread called, and then a toast called Marmite, and so a lot of people say Delius is a little bit like Marmite. You either love him or hate him. I'm a big fan of Delius. Pieces like this I think are masterpieces. Really wonderful works. I have many of his orchestral scores here, actually. I'm just having a look at what we've got here. The violin concerto, again, a stunning piece. So Delius has written some lovely piano pieces as well, a couple of preludes. His piece called Paris is stunning, a really wonderful piece. And because Delius lived only just as we look here, is that way. He lived up the road till he could get away from his father and get to Florida and to this orange plantation. So I'm not far away from the countryside that probably inspired Delius as a young man. And so out there in the hills above Bradford and Ilkley, around that area, is quite poignant for me and quite inspirational to hear some of that in his music. He was a great friend of Edvard Grieg, who was a great fan and encouraged his music. So he's another composer I admire very much. Looking at my collection of music, the British composer James Macmillan. I'm also a Scottish composer, you may say. I love his music. I've always been a fan since I was a teenager of Macmillan's music. I think it's he's got a piece called The Confessions of Isabel Gowdy, which is wonderful. The symphonies are fantastic as well. They're really great pieces. I mean, I couldn't talk about British composers without mentioning Ralph Vaughan Williams. I love the symphonies, the sixth, the fifth, the third, well, all of them. They're absolutely wonderful pieces. The music makers, there's many pieces by Vaughan Williams which I think are just absolutely magical. I'm also obsessed with some of, maybe you would say some of the rarer composers. So there's a British composer called George Dyson. Again, I have an association with him because he was born in Halifax, which is where I live. And so he has written, his hit is called The Canterbury Pilgrims, which is a wonderful piece. But you've also got his symphonies and the little concertos and string orchestra pieces. They're absolutely fantastic, really worth investigating. Another composer for me who was born in Gomersall, again, which is quite near here, was called Arnold Cooke, Cooke. Arnold Cooke wrote some wonderful piano pieces and quite a large amount of orchestral music as well. And there's quite a few symphonies. They're really worth investigating. They're absolutely stunning pieces of music. Other composers, let me think. So Arnold Bax, I love the work like Winter's Legend, Tintagel. His symphonies as well are absolutely fantastic. Eugene Goossens, an interesting composer. His Fantasy Concerto and his Symphony No. 1 are fantastic pieces. And his string quartets, which I have over here as well, they're beautiful pieces as well. Goes without saying Parry, but of course we've got things like I Was Glad, which are his famous pieces, but I love things like Parry's second symphony, which is called Cambridge. Is a fantastic work. Modern composers, I suppose still modern. Anthony Turnage, I think some of his music's very groundbreaking and very forward-thinking and really beautiful. So yeah, I think that's I could go on, people like William Alwyn, and I could go on and on about these composers, but they mean a great deal to me, and I think some of that might be heard in my music that I write myself, because I'm such a fan of these pastoral composers that are inspired by the landscape. So yeah, this is Musical Heroes 2. So I've packed in about 50 of them, of my very, very favourites. So Finzi, Walton, Goossens, Vaughan Williams, Elgar, Bax, Parry. The list goes on. Those composers I admire and love their music very much. So thanks for watching. It'd be lovely to hear some of your favourite British composers and pieces. I'd love that to put them in the comments. That would be fantastic. I'd love to get a dialogue going about those. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.